How's it going, everybody? This is Josh with Be Known, and today I'm interviewing Kari Williams. She is a client with Be Known Advertising. She is also with eXp Realty. So I'm going to let her introduce herself and talk a little bit about, what she does and what areas she serves. So, Kari, tell us a little bit about yourself, how long you've been in real estate, and what area you serve.
Well, my name is Kari Williams, and I am on Team Tiffy at eXp Realty here in Las Vegas. And so we handle the greater Las Vegas area, everything from Henderson, Summerlin, Centennial, Green Valley, Nellis Air Force Base, all the way around. So, Las Vegas, although people think that it's really big, it's really not that big. And so you can just bebop anywhere around town about a half an hour and be there. So it makes it pretty easy to be able to take care of clients all through Las Vegas. I've been with eXp Realty for a little over a year, headed into a year and a half now. And it really was one of the best things that I could do for my business. I was in a boutique agency when I first started in real estate right at the beginning of 2018 and just really struggled to get my feet underneath me. And with eXp and the team, they just have resources that changed everything for me. So my business is literally up 500% from last year at this time.
Wow, that's great. That's great.
Yes. So
as far as a specialty or a niche, would you say you have any type of specialty or any type of niche?
I've actually really organically fallen into first-time home buyers. Las Vegas is really such a transient place. People come in and out so often. They come here for new jobs. They leave because of the military. That really, I'm just running into mostly first-time home buyers. We have down payment assistance programs here in Nevada. That's been a big thing that I've been able to establish really great relationships with my specialty lenders. And so we do, I really, and even it can be a first-time home buyer, whether it's a resale or a new build. That just tends to be what I've attracted.
Excellent, excellent. So I want to get into a little bit about your experience with us at Be Known. So the first question I have for you is, how did you hear about us?
So right about the time that I was reading The Millionaire Listing Agent, Keller Williams' book by Gary Keller, and it was just one of my homework assignments on my team. And what they say is leads, listings, and leverage. And I had moved back to Las Vegas. This is kind of my Vegas 2.0. And my SOI was pretty small. And I realized that that wasn't going to be the way that I was going to be able to grow my business as quickly as I would like to. So I started doing some postings and doing some Facebook stuff on my own because I didn't know what else to do. And I don't even know how I came over. I don't know if it was an email or if it was a Facebook posting. I said, you know what? I'm doing all this work on my own and I'm not really getting the results that I should. And with eXp, we have a specific CRM called KV Core. It's a smart CRM. And there's so many tools in it that I just could not figure out how to use on my own. So I met with you and Brian. We did a little Zoom conference call, and we got into, and as you had indicated that you were familiar with KV Core, you were familiar with how to create the smart campaigns. And that for me was the single biggest draw on why it was worth the investment for me, because a lead doesn't come in and just automatically convert and you're like, poof, there's a client. There's, as we all have learned doing internet leads, is that sometimes it can take up to 18 months for a conversion. Well, in that 18 months, if you're out doing your sales and you're out doing your showings, you're out doing what's supposed to make you money, you're not always in your CRM doing all that follow-up, always following up on the look. And so what Being on Advertising did for me is it created the touches and the smart campaigns for every single client from the time that they logged in and gave me their lead form and their information to every single time they come back after being gone for a while. And that has been the single biggest thing, because so let's say I log into my CRM and I see that Joe Smith went in there and looked at homes. I go, ooh, I need to reach out to Joe Smith. I go into the lead and you've already done it for me. And I go, oh, he already received a text message. Okay, chalk that up today to one that I've reached out to. That value, that knowledge of how to create those campaigns, that knowledge of you guys doing this whole touch system so that I could run my business outside of all of that administrative work, has been the biggest value to me.
That's awesome, and that's what we like to hear. I mean, one of the biggest things we say about setting up the KB Core program for you is that we're going to set it up on autopilot. I mean, when I'm on the phone with an agent, I tell them that I am going to take care of the tech for you, and I'm going to dial out your KB Core, and I ask two things from you as the agent: call your leads is one, and two is call your leads. It's that simple. So, that was actually my next question, but you got into it, was, how well the KB Core was dialed out. So I'm glad you touched on that. I wanted to tell everybody that might be watching this and let them know, how long have you been with the platform, with Be Known Advertising?
Gosh, I think we probably got everything dialed in and we really started to get the leads running and coming in. Hashtags, we did a Facebook down payment. And so it was like an FB down payment. So when I go back and look, I can see that the little leads started to come in about right after the first week of November.
Yeah, I've got you in here since November. So since November, I want to ask you that when you first talked to us and you first were deciding like whether you were going to, go with us or try something else, and you made the decision, you pulled the trigger, you said, I got to change. I got to move forward and I got to do something different for my business. When you first started, what were your expectations of the platform that we presented to you?
Well, I had been with a previous team in EXP before I moved on to Team Tiffy that I'm on right now and just absolutely adore. And that particular team leader was running leads and sending them out to the individual agents, and I actually had a great success and built my business off of the leads that she was doing. But then again, there was a heavy price to pay. It was a 50% team split. So yes, she was paying for the lead. I was working the lead, but I found that nurture came pretty easily for me. And so I said, well, if someone else is paying for leads and someone else is doing it, why not do it on my own? Do what I've already found is working for me. And so that's why I went in and said, okay, I'm going to spend my own money on my own leads and build those up. And that has been, as everyone knows with internet leads, let's not sugarcoat this. Some are crap, some are not. So what I have stopped being invested in is thinking that every single thing that comes in, that hit, is actually a lead. So what I'm not doing is getting invested into somebody that says, I had a silly one the other day. Oh, blah, blah. That was the name that they put in with the telephone number. I'm not kidding. So here's the funny part. So the automatic CRM said, "Dear blah, how are you doing?" And I laughed because it was automatically doing it before I could come in. And so I went in and went, okay, Mr. Blah, blah, let's take you out. I can archive it. So let's say at some point, Mr. Blah, blah decides that telephone number and the information he's seeing, at some point he or she may actually decide to give me the information. But for the most part, the ones that are engaging right through that automatically first touch system, the text messages that go out, the email, the call that I do, in KB Core, you've got new lead is light blue and prospect is red. So I automatically move those into prospect, and my KB Core is full of them. And so in fact, yesterday I just had a buyer consultation from a lead that came in February.
Very good, very good. And I always like to, hear the good stories, of course. I mean, who doesn't like to hear the good stuff about what a business is doing? But I'm going to do something that's completely different than most companies will do in any type of thing like this. Is I want to ask you, as far as your experience with us, what kind of snags, roadblocks, hiccups, or things did you run into while we were doing all this and setting this up for you? And I want you to tell them a little bit about, anything that your experience that was not good. I mean, obviously having some bad leads is one of them, but.
Yeah, but I mean, so think about how many people are sheltering in place. They're quarantining right now. They still have the dream of having home ownership at some point. And we know that more people are going to be online and looking, and not necessarily on just my platform, but on other platforms as well. So, for example, one of the things I was focusing on was the down payment assistance. Well, guess what? As soon as COVID-19 hit, FHA pulled back on the bond programs and increased their FHA credit scores to 660. So all of a sudden I felt like I had a database that wasn't valuable because I couldn't offer bond programs or anything like that. So I contacted you guys and we decided to just do something that said, hey, here's our catalog. And that was your idea. This was not my idea. You guys came to me and said, let's change it up. Let's switch up the kind of leads that are coming in. Let's just show the EXP catalog of what you have to offer. Let's show people what's actually out there in the market and get them to do the leads. And it has not stopped. In fact, maybe more leads are coming in now. They came in on the bond programs, on the down payment assistance, because I'm reaching a broader base.
Yeah. And so that was my next question as far as overcoming those snags or roadblocks. Would you say that, when as soon as we reached that roadblock, you reached out to us and, we came up with an idea, let's fix it now. Mm-hmm. That's something that I know you and I talked about personally. So, I know exactly what happened there. But I know a lot of other agents that work with other companies, and I don't want to put anybody down, but, they kind of just, you're going to buy this program. This is what we're going to run for you. And they don't really care whether, Nevada decided to get rid of the down payment assistance program or not. This is what you paid for. There you go.
Exactly.
So, I mean, it's not really a question. It's more of just, as far as a plan to overcome that, would you say that, Be Known Advertising was there for you, supportive, jumped in and said, yeah, let's take care of this and fix this. Let's find a program that works and keep those leads coming in.
Yeah, and I also, if you start thinking about the shift, and again, that's the newest read that we're doing as a team here at EXP, to talk about how we as agents actually do survive this market. Markets are up, markets are down. As a newer agent, I didn't experience 2008. I didn't experience shifting. Well, they talk about pulling back on your spending. Pull it back, don't spend. But here's the problem with that is if you're pulling back on your spend, you're not getting new leads. And what about the people that still need you? So I decided, instead of pulling back and zeroing out, I'm double down. And I said, you know what? I'm not going to stop. I'm going to keep getting the homes because we're in a life events market. People are getting married. They need to combine two households. People are getting divorced. People have, especially now, how many people have lost their jobs here in Las Vegas? All-time high unemployment rates. What if they can't stay? What if they get a job offer somewhere else? What if they need to come into Las Vegas for whatever reason because they now just got a job that they couldn't get somewhere else? So we're really in a life events market. And my clients that I'm working with, are blessed enough to still be working, to still have income coming in, and they have to make a real estate move in one way or another. So being able to be still out there and literally my pipeline is full. I mean, so what Be Known Advertising did for me is it created a momentum. It created this wave of this nurture, still being in contact with people. So yes, I had some that were quick conversions into buyer broker agreements and looking at homes. Most of them, no. But I knew that going in. I had realistic expectations of what these leads were going to be, and I'm a nurturer, I'm a lover, I'm a relationship seller. And so now, as we start to feel everything opening back up, my CRM with the Be Known advertising leads, it's insane. It's just, I have people filling up an entire page of love this house, love this house, love this house. And so I reach out, hey, you have some homes on fire. You want to talk to me?
Well, I mean, that kind of touches on my next question, which is the $1 million question. It's what anybody who's watching this, whether they're, watching this and they're with EXP, whether they're watching this, they're not, whether they're just sitting here and they're checking out and listening to what you have to say as an agent. The main question that they want to know is, what type of results are you seeing? Have you had conversions? Have you been successful? Now, when we first talked, and I tell this, and our whole entire staff tells this to you, this is not a get-rich program, guys. It's we expect to see you profitable and see a return on your investment in 6 months. Now, Kari, you're right on the cusp of that 6 months. What would you say your results are? What have you gotten in deals, conversions? What do you have down the road? Let's tell everybody about kind of what type of success story you've seen with this.
Right now, I'm probably doing about 2 to 3 buyer consultations a week without, opening up. I'm sending at least, and again, this is always adding on. So 2 more, 3 more, 2 more, 3 more. I'm at least, so I have paid for all my investment to date with deals that I have closed, and so everything right now is just gravy. So it took 1 deal. That's all it took, is 1 deal, and it paid for everything. So that's done. And I have 2 escrows. I have 2 listings. I've got a ton of stuff going. So there's no reason, because like I said, even if that person doesn't need me now, we know that the nature of Facebook leads can be up to an 18-month process. If you're still reaching out to me, if I can get to you through your telephone, if I can get to you through your email, and especially if you're still active and you're looking at houses, and you may not be ready today because COVID still got you locked down. We don't know. But it doesn't make any sense if the way to be a millionaire real estate agent is leads, listings, and leverage.
Yes.
Getting some of the listings, I gotta have the leads. I just have to have it. And because that's really, now again, I have my SOI. My SOI is great. I've got deals with my SOI, but the Be Known advertising leads and being just out there again, branding, at Pink Hair Agent, brand. So getting out, so Be Known advertising, a part of branding, it's not your imagination. I have pink hair. And when I don't have pink hair, people say, where's your pink hair? So I'm like, well, okay, so here we go, at Pink Hair Agent. And so I'm easy to find. You look me up on Instagram, at Pink Hair Agent. I have the website, www.pinkhairagent.com. And that's still allowing me to put my logos out there and do my branding and still create that and bring in leads at the same time.
Perfect. I mean, that is great. Great numbers, great success. It's already paid for according to you. Everything seems to be going well, and we adapt and convert with that. What you're talking about, we call it the snowball effect, where, you just start lining them up, and, right now you could be looking in 3 months, you have, 2 or 3 deals ready to go. But,
exactly.
Next week that could be 6 deals, and the following week that could change it to 8, and then it just keeps building up down the road. So, that's great. That's what we like to see. That's our plan of attack, is to create that pipeline and that snowball effect to where you can start looking at it and going, hey, I know I'm going to do 2 to 3 deals, every month. And that's a lot. That's good to go. And especially with what's going on right now, to have that type of success is great. And I noticed you dropped your plug there for your Pink Hair Realtor. I love it. And so you guys, if you want to look that up, check it out. I want to thank Kari for her time because, as you can see, we're keeping her really busy, and we're really busy keeping her account rocking and rolling as well as everyone else's. So I'm not going to take up too much more of the time. I want to thank Kari for her time today. And check her out. If you guys ever want to, try and take your business to the next level, if you want to see the type of success that Kari's seeing, and learn the type of things and the knowledge that Kari's gotten from us, feel free to reach out to her. She gave you the plugs. We'll put a link below, so that way, you can reach out to her. You don't have to talk to me. You can talk to somebody who's actually experiencing it if you want some more information, as well as if you're watching this and you're going, wow, I wish my brokerage did some stuff like this for me or had that type of stuff. Reach out and talk to Kari about why she made the change to EXP. She talked a little bit about it in the beginning, but you can have a full in-depth conversation and maybe Kari will get you set up, get you into EXP and give you some access to us as well. And, we'll get things rocking and rolling for you. So Kari, it was a pleasure and I appreciate your time. Thank you so much today. And you guys make sure you check out Kari. Send her referrals if you know anybody moving to Vegas.
And I just want to leave everybody with one last thought. We're coming out of a really transitionary time in all of our lives and in all of our careers. So if there's ever a time to really think about what you're going to do going forward and have a fresh idea, a fresh start, and kind of wipe the slate and take that breath of the time that we've been given to just kind of reanalyze where we are. And if you as a realtor are sitting there after this particular situation that we've all been put in, and your business did come to a dead stop, if all of a sudden you don't know where your next deal is going to come from, if you realize you do have to restart everything, it's like we all ran into a brick wall. But honestly, I didn't. My business never changed. I have to do things more carefully now. And that's the benefit of doing a system that Be Known Advertising gives you, but also being in a system like EXP, because we've always been virtual. So everything, like I said, nothing changed. So I didn't have any downtime. I didn't hit that wall. Between what you do and what EXP does, I was able to just barrel right through and still going.
That's awesome. Again, yeah, I mean, she's right on the same page. We joke around about it with a lot of people all the time, with our platform and with EXP agents that we talk to every day. We were working remote before it was trending, guys.
Exactly.
So think about that in your business. So I want to go ahead and just sign off with this and say thank you again to Kari. Check her out. Guys, Be Known Advertising. Apparently, it's great reviews according to Kari, and I would love that. Thank you so much for your kind words. We look forward to talking to you guys soon.